Much of the week, we have been telling you about the huge raid at Hoke County Animal Shelter, a raid that resulted in the seizure of 600 animals and criminal charges against the owner. Since our last report at noon, we were able to get a look inside the facility where these dogs, cats, and farm animals are now being housed. WRAL's Laura Leslie is here with an update. Laura?
David, it's one of the biggest rescue operations the ASPCA has ever had to handle. Truckloads of animals needing emergency shelter. But you have to wonder how the situation was allowed to get to this point. State officials have documented problems at that shelter since 2005. So we asked them, should the state have stepped in sooner?
This is the medical area.
The rescue shelter is massive. Volunteers and veterinarians bustle among hundreds of metal cages carefully organized in a chilly 80,000 square foot warehouse.
Is this better than where they were?
It's considerably better than where they were. I mean, we are providing top-notch care for these animals, so much better than the horrible conditions they were in before.
Aaron Milius is the ASPCA's National Director of Sheltering Operations. He says this is one of the largest neglect rescues they've ever handled.
It's certainly one of the most difficult logistically, and probably one of the most horrendous.
None of that is a surprise to state regulators. Animal welfare inspectors have known about problems at the Haven for 11 years. The shelter's file holds stacks of failed inspections and complaints. Agriculture spokesman Brian Long says the state was trying to help Lyndon and Stephen Spears come into compliance, but they never succeeded.
There was a lot of legal wrangling. There was a lot of promises on their part. There were steps forward that occurred, but those always seem to be followed by steps backwards.
I mean, how many chances does someone get to get into compliance?
It did go on too long, and it's been frustrating for us.
In the meantime, the animals from the Haven should all be at the ASPCA shelter by the end of the day. They'll all receive a veterinary exam and care, and they're photographed, weighed, and documented as pieces of evidence. They'll have to stay there until the criminal case is resolved.
Now, the ASPCA has asked us to not disclose the location of that emergency shelter because the animals in it are considered criminal evidence in the charges against shelter owners. They say their goal is to get all the animals healthy and placed in homes as soon as the judge gives them permission. David?
Wow. Laura Leslie, thank you.